Taylor Swift's 8th studio album, Folklore, was a surprise release during the COVID-19 pandemic. It was single-handedly responsible for my reintroduction into the Swiftie fandom. I had slightly fallen off the bandwagon during her very public fall from grace in 2016, and I wasn't crazy about the albums that she put out around that time, but Folklore was different. Taylor had completely shifted gears into the folk genre and delivered an almost perfect record, in my opinion. Now come the Grammys, Evermore, and the announcement that she'd be re-recording and reimagining her previous albums that were released under Big Machine Records, due to her losing the rights to those masters. This was the best time to be a fan, in my opinion, but the re-records signified the beginning of the end for me. Fearless Taylor's version went off without a hitch. The re-recorded tracks were perfect reimaginings of the original recordings, and the bonus tracks that she included that were written in the era were phenomenal. Next came Red Taylor's version, which had a stellar bonus tracks but rather lackluster re-recordings in the production department. Listen to the original version of We're Never Ever Getting Back Together and the re-recorded version and you'll understand what I am talking about. During this period, she had many eyes on her, more than she ever had. All Too Well Taylor's version had gone viral, and the press tour for Red Taylor's version was more than she had done in literal years. Then comes Midnights. I won't say much about this record, the record's fine, but in conjunction with her kicking off her highly anticipated Eras tour, something shifted. Suddenly, she was the #1 pop star on the planet. I went to the Eras tour, it slapped, but during the beginning of the tour, Swift and her longtime boyfriend Joe Alwyn called it quits. It's known within the fandom that Joe wanted to keep the relationship private, hence why she had not done proper press in years. When they split, she was suddenly everywhere, interviews, out on the town, and posting on TikTok. She wasn't just the #1 pop star, she was literally the #1 woman on the planet. Then came the Chiefs and Travis Kelce. Oh, yeah. This was the true nail in the coffin for me. Taylor Swift was officially overexposed, article after article talking about her and Kelce, fans saying weird and creepy things about them, fans having over-the-top insane behavior when something simple like hearing a song in a restaurant happened. These new insane fans and the over-coverage of Swift and the progressively horrific butchering of good records had all driven me farther and farther from her discography. I haven't even mentioned her silence on the genocide in Gaza, or the blatant disregard for the climate, or the fact that she's a billionaire. You cannot be a billionaire without exploiting people. But I don't need to say any of this because the press has already covered it ad nauseum, which perfectly illustrates why she's fallen off from my top 10. I hope that this new album hooks me in like Folklore did 4 years ago, but that remains to be seen.